Good afternoon, distinguished guests, family, and friends. I'm Commander Eric Van Velzen, the Commandant of Cadets at the Texas A&M Maritime Academy, and it is my distinct honor to be today's Master of Ceremonies. Today we are honoring the 2019-2020 Corps of Cadets leadership with a virtual change of command and final review. It is my pleasure to introduce the Superintendent of the Texas A&M Maritime Academy, Rear Admiral Michael E. Fossum. He serves as the Vice President of Texas A&M University, Superintendent of the Texas A&M Maritime Academy, and Chief Operating Officer of the Texas A&M University Galveston campus. Admiral Fossum earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from Texas A&M University and was commissioned as an officer in the United States Air Force in 1980. He joined Texas A&M University at Galveston following his retirement from NASA Johnson Space Center in 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, Admiral Fossum.
Thank you, Commander Van Velzen. I really appreciate that and the opportunity to be part of this today. And really, before we go any further, I probably need to introduce you because you're new to this team as our Commandant for the Texas A&M Maritime Academy. Let me tell everybody a little bit about Van, as we call him here. He grew up in the Seattle, Washington area. In 1989, Van enlisted in the Marines. He served as an avionics tech on F-18 Hornets. During that time, he served in Desert Shield and Desert Storm and also Southern Watch. As his time on active duty in the Marines came to a close, Van decided he was really interested in something completely different. He wanted to study nautical archaeology. And as he searched around for a place to learn and study nautical archaeology, he discovered our campus. And so he came here when he left the Marines to study nautical archaeology as part of our Maritime Studies program. While Van was here, he served as the student body president of our campus. So he is also an Aggie, a proud class of the member of the class of 2002. When Van graduated from Texas A&M, he was commissioned into the Coast Guard in February of 2003. He served on Coast Guard cutters. During that time, he was deployed overseas on an anti-terrorism task force protecting military ports overseas. He later served as under the Director of Operational Logistics in Norfolk, Virginia. A lot of responsibility for operations all over the world from there. One of the big ones was supporting hurricane and other humanitarian relief efforts in various deployments and operations. His next assignment was to Bahrain, and that's where we stole him from. He retired from the Coast Guard in September of 2019, and he came to work for us in January of 2020. So officially, in public, welcome aboard, Commander Van Velzen. It's great to have you home working with us and serving us here in Aggieland. So Corps Change of Command Ceremony. Normally, this would be the form of a large pass and review with the pageantry and all of the cadets lined up and the companies coming by. Today, I went over to the parade field just to look at it and to think about what's not happening there today. And it was actually, it's a little sad in ways. It's really, really quiet around here. And I miss all of you already. But thinking about it, I could hear the gulls are calling, the wind is blowing, and there's a little bit of that salt air out there. And you could almost hear the sounds of the cadets and the sounds of the guidons whipping in the breeze. But that's not where we are today. We're doing what we can do. And I want to take a chance before we officially hand over the reins from the class of 2020 to the class of 2021. I want to thank the class of 2020. It's been great working with you. Most of you I call shipmates because we've been on the ship at some time in the last couple of summers. We've sailed together. And what an honor it is for me to lead this academy. You have been through incredible change. Many of you, or most of you, actually started before I came here. In your time as a cadet, you have had 4 different superintendents or acting or interim superintendents. There's been a lot of changes. I hope to fix that by remaining in place, providing some stability here, but you have coped with an awful lot as there have been different changes. And you've had great leaders that came before you. You've clearly learned from them, and you've clearly raised the bar that much further over the last year. I'm impressed to see the way you work together, the camaraderie that you have together, the sense of mission that you have as you've worked together. It really has been a joy, and we have worked through some challenges, but you have grown through that process, and your bonds with each other are clearly tight. And within your units, whether that's the whole Corps, the battalions, the companies, seeing that company spirit, that unit spirit growing and taking hold is something that actually warms my heart too, because that's really what part of what being a cadet should be all about. I especially want to thank our Corps Commander Chase LeBeau and your top team, Darren Taylor and Connor Lowe. You know, what a great job you have done this year leading our Corps. And, you know, and I know you're ready to move on to other things, but I will say with all my heart that I'm going to miss you guys, and I'm going to look over this last year as one full of challenges, including dealing with a global pandemic, but one where I've seen you really rise to that challenge, and you've made me proud all the way. Chase, I'd like to hear from you.
Well, howdy, and thank you, Admiral Fossum. That means a lot. I just want to say what an honor and a privilege it has been to be the Corps Commander this year. And what an honor to be able to recognize everybody's accomplishments despite all the negativity that our world has been consumed with over the past months. There's one thing that everyone has had plenty of exposure to this year, and that has been change. And you mentioned some of that change. For all of us cadets, we have been exposed to more change as a Corps than most cadets ever have or ever will. From sailing as an academy for the first time together on the TS Golden Bear this summer, to a new superintendent, Admiral Fossum, and to a new commandant, Commander Van Velzen. We all had to evolve to a new way of life at the end of this semester, and for some of us, that meant saying goodbye to the way of life we have known for the past 4 years. And while that came with a lot of uncertainty, the one thing we knew to be certain is that we would persevere, and persevere we have. We're all moving forward. Some of us completing our first year in college at Texas A&M University of Galveston in the Corps, and moving on from becoming a fish. Some of us have just recently selected commercial billets, and others of us are stepping into new leadership positions where we will have so much to offer and so much to learn. While others of us will be graduating tomorrow and moving on to whatever our future has in store, and our futures are bright. For everyone, I want to say thank you for a year that I will personally never forget. To the people I've been blessed to work with this year and personally call my team and my friends, I am forever grateful for everything each and every one of you did for this Corps and for this Aggie family. To next year's leadership team, I wish you the best. Enjoy every second of it, because I promise it goes by faster than you think. And to Mr. Chevroletti, I hope you're ready to take the helm of this Corps, because it is truly my honor to pass the command of the Corps Cadets on to you. Godspeed, Mr. Corps Commander.
Howdy, Ags. I am so incredibly honored to be here today. Even though we are currently spread about as far as the East is from the West, Aggies are united all across this country and all across this world, and we are no exception to that. To the class of 2020 and Mr. LeBeau, your time has come. It's time for you to go out there and make the difference you want to make. The choice is yours, but I have nothing but faith that you will rise above and beyond. You have worked exceptionally hard to get where you are now, and we are so thankful for the leadership and example you've set future generations to follow. To all the cadets of TMA, I'm convinced that no one works harder. I've seen the charts and books in the study rooms at 0 dark 30 as you study for license, barely able to keep your eyes open. I've seen you worn out after watch, heading to your 8 a.m. class, hoping the coffee gets you through that day. And I've seen the camaraderie and spirit you have, making even the most mundane worthwhile. The sacrifice that you put in does not go in vain, and it does not go unnoticed. For all that you do, each and every one of you deserves to be recognized, and I consider myself exceptionally fortunate to be able to lead you now. You are my teammates, and we are one crew, and I look forward to working alongside all of you. I cannot ask for a better team, and with God as my guide, my hope and prayer is that I serve you well. Stay safe, reach out, and stand tall. I cannot wait to see you all soon. Thank you.
The change of command ceremony is a time-honored naval tradition, and like many ceremonies and traditions of the Navy, it draws its origin from ancient customs and laws of the sea begun in the early days of seafaring. By custom, this ceremony is formal and impressive, designed to strengthen the respect for the authority so vital in every military organization. By mustering the crew, the change of command ceremony guarantees that all hands personally witness the official transfer of authority between officers who are duly authorized to hold command. This simple ceremony, whereby complete responsibility and accountability pass between two leaders, is a reflection of the spirit and integrity of all cadets, past, present, and future. Principal staff. Cadet Captain Chase LeBeau is being relieved by Cadet Captain Nelson Chavalati. Cadet Commander Darren Taylor is being relieved by Cadet Commander Cole Massington. Cadet Commander Jordan Sarter is being relieved by Cadet Commander Alexander Hankins. Cadet Commander Connor Lowe is being relieved by Cadet Commander Perry Moyer. Cadet Commander Jacob Ponshot is being relieved by Cadet Commander Savannah Cushman. Cadet Commander Jared Grunho is being relieved by Cadet Commander Hayden Cowdery. Company staff. Cadet Lieutenant Commander Carter Mice is being relieved by Cadet Lieutenant Commander Kyle Olette. Cadet Lieutenant Commander Keegan O'Kelly is being relieved by Cadet Lieutenant Commander Jonathan Rowland. Cadet Lieutenant Commander Jacob Pratt is being relieved by Cadet Lieutenant Commander Rains Chapman. Cadet Lieutenant Commander Christopher Phillips is being relieved by Cadet Lieutenant Commander Lauren Pachesny. Cadet Lieutenant Commander Ethan Mullins is being relieved by Cadet Lieutenant Commander Daniel Duong. 2nd Battalion. Cadet Lieutenant Commander Bailey Van Essen is being relieved by Cadet Lieutenant Commander Evan Gilchrist. Cadet Lieutenant Commander Nelson Chavarlati is being relieved by Cadet Lieutenant Commander Colton Acuna. Cadet Lieutenant Commander Davis Kimball is being relieved by Cadet Lieutenant Commander Stephen Lloyd. Cadet Lieutenant Commander Tori Templin is being relieved by Cadet Lieutenant Commander Clayton Herdenberger. I'd like to congratulate the new Corps leadership of the 2021 Corps of Cadets. This has been a very challenging year, and I'm very proud of how well you've navigated these obstacles. Texas A&M University Galveston holds a very special place in my heart, and I'm deeply honored to serve as your Commandant. It is my goal to lead this outstanding team as we, together, do the following. To develop leaders of character and integrity. The Aggie Honor Code states that Aggies do not lie, cheat, or steal, nor tolerate those who do. And my goal is to use that as a foundation to build future leaders of our country, whether they spend a career at sea, in related industries ashore supporting the maritime industry, or follow a completely different path. Being true to one's word is critical, as trust takes a long time to build and can be destroyed in just a moment. To help train the future officers of the United States Sea Services and Merchant Marine. Pursuing a career at sea can be extremely rewarding and at the same time incredibly challenging. Long hours, often missing key family events, and the ever-present perils of the sea. These are the challenges our graduates will face, but great are the rewards, such as traveling to new locations, perhaps to the far-flung corners of the world, and seeing sights that those on shore can't even imagine. And finally, to improve the esprit de corps of the Texas A&M Maritime Academy and foster a greater love of Texas A&M University at Galveston. I'm nearly as passionate about this university as Admiral Fossum is, because being a student here changed my life. I came with a very clear goal to follow my passion, and during the 3 years, those plans changed dramatically and for the better, which made me into the leader that I am today. Becoming a member of the Aggie family will follow you for the rest of your life and will open doors that you can't even imagine. When I graduated in 2002 with a maritime studies degree, I never dreamed that I would return to TAMUG, and certainly not as the Commandant of the Texas A&M Maritime Academy. I'm thrilled to join the TAMUG family, and I'm eagerly accept the challenge in making this academy even better than it already is. With the amazing faculty and staff, and under the leadership of Admiral Fossum, I know we have the winning team to make that a reality. And with that, Admiral Fossum, would you like to make a few closing remarks?
Thank you, Van. One more time for the outgoing class of 2020, the leaders who have served with honor over the last year. The burden of leadership is real, and I know you feel that even at the company and battalion and certainly at the Corps staff level. It's real. It's the real world. And the kind of challenges that you face to keep your team together, to build the bonds, to keep them motivated, to stay on task, work toward goals, was the same thing you're going to be doing in your life beyond here, whether it's at sea as an actual mariner or anywhere else in the military or your professional world. The experience you've had are real, and they are of a great value out in the world, no matter where you go, because leadership is leadership. It doesn't matter whether it's at the company commander level or it's at the university level. The concepts and the things that you need to pay attention to are exactly the same. Yeah, they get scaled up a little bit, but the concepts are exactly the same. And you have exercised that. You have done that with honor and integrity all year long. That is what the outside world is looking for too. If you're going out as a mariner, as a third mate or a third assistant engineer, you will already be an officer on the ship. Of course, if you're going into the military and you're commissioning as an ensign, you are an officer on the ship, and there will be people working for you. If you're going into the private industry, you're still, everybody is looking for leaders of integrity for the future of their outfit or their company, whatever that is. And if you don't believe me, watch the news. Our nation is crying out for leaders of integrity. That is our goal at Texas A&M University, is to help prepare you to be those leaders of integrity in the world beyond here. Class of 2020, you're ready. And it's time for you to step aside, because the class that comes behind you is ready to saddle up. I know they are. I'm excited about the opportunities in the year ahead, working with Chevy and the entire team. And so I think we're on a great path, and I look forward to great things ahead for the Texas A&M Maritime Academy. And I am so proud of you and what you've done, and I can't wait to see what's next. Thanks, everybody, and gig 'em.